Mic check. Microphone checker. Hello, world. I am a guy from a place. Charm City Bipper. Quis The Vndl. Marquis is the name my mama gave me. Wherever you are in this world at this moment, I'm sending you love. I'm letting you know you are seen, you are valuable, you are worthy. In this moment, for me, I am sitting with a couple of things and they're bringing me peace. I had a conversation with somebody who always gives me good game and good insight, and they allow me to reflect on how afraid we can be, how fear is often our number one limiter. Fear of being ourself. What does it look like to be you? Is the question of the day. What does it look like? How are you honoring yourself? Is it authentic? Does it come natural? And natural is a collection of things, right? Does it come natural as in, is it causing you harm? Is it, if it's causing you harm, it isn't natural. If it's going against the order you are, it isn't natural. What is true to your nature? And sometimes we bring things into our life, whether it be substances or whatever vice it may be, and we start to believe that those things in our lives are natural to who we are. I have some experiences with individuals that I love, and at times they are not able to recognize dependencies they have on things. I am dependent on certain things. I won't lie. I've grown what could be called a dependency on self-help. Some people don't like that term. I don't like it. For the negative connotations that come with it. But I've come to really benefit and lean on faith. I rely on a lot of different things that I don't always discuss because I don't like for people to put me in boxes or try to figure me out because of these different things that I embody. But alcohol, drugs, food at different points can build up these habits within us that allow us to escape. And habits may not be the right word, but just thinking about using something to escape ourselves or escape reality, you always come back to what you're running from. It does not go away. And going to different places in the world, trying different substances, no matter what, you are there. Wherever you go, there you are, is what I used to hear growing up. Wherever you go, there you are. And if there is something in you that believes getting high, getting drunk, or eating your favorite meal distances you from your problems, we gotta have a moment to stop, be with ourselves, and possibly seek professional help. And I'm not saying that as someone who's pointing a finger at you. I'm saying that as someone who grew up not knowing themselves and was constantly defined by things that I did or what people wished me to be. I was supposed to be everybody's golden child. I was mannerly and polite. So in white people's mind, he's the good kid. He's not like them. And then to adults, it was like a way of boasting and shaming other people's children because of how I was able to show up so well. But that didn't help me. It often made me feel isolated and afraid to be friends with people because now someone's bragging about me in a way that creates jealousy and envy and within my peers. So I was dealing with that. Then I started to depend on I'll just be honest, I depended on different I depended on that. I depended on in a major way. I saw things too early. So as I saw those things as a preteen, and then I'm at freak parties, well, girls bumping it, we bumping and grinding, we doing whatever, and then it's just so abundant, and then the music is adding to it, and peers are saying they've had sex already. So all of these different things are going on, and these are things that are now becoming standards that I'm defining myself by, if I have done it or if I haven't done it. And everything is extrinsic. I didn't have a sense of self. And I'm in a lot of spaces right now, but I'm taking you up to the point of 16, 17, where now I'm going out and shots have been offered. Oh, you gonna sip that because you sip that Henny, you lit. Oh, you gonna sip that because you sip that vodka, you lit. You gonna puff this because if you puff this, it means something. And it makes you look cool in front of this girl who you might get an opportunity with if you handle yourself appropriately. So it's like, again, all of this is extrinsic. It has nothing to do with the person inside. And the person inside is still dealing with the wounds of their childhood. It's still dealing with the wounds of not knowing themselves and honestly fearing themselves. Fearing myself, fearing my raw emotion, fearing crying, fearing being vulnerable in front of people who love me, fearing saying that I'm not okay, and understanding that it was okay to not be okay. This constant fear, this constant just shame about who I was. And as I'm saying, I'm dealing with all of this and having just a constant experience of anxiety, depression, holding on to old wounds. So I didn't have a really extreme dependency, but I did have moments where I was like, maybe if I get high, if I smoke this, I'll be cool. So I tried that about 4 times, and one of the times it didn't go in any way that I could have imagined. And it changed a lot of things about my life. I'm sharing that to say that we have to be conscious of what we are intaking, and we have to be conscious of what we are dependent on to feel like we are who we are. Some people are addicted to coffee. They don't even know it. Got to drink coffee to get prepared to go to work. I got to do something to be me. I got to do something outside of myself to be me. Even in exercise, I had to question that. Like, if I don't exercise, how do I feel? I intentionally fasted from exercise. Like, maybe I'll take a break. Because what does that mean? Why are all of these things outside of me defining my relationship with who I am? And as I said, this is not an easy journey. Some of us are farther along. Some of us are healing. Some of us don't even know that we need to be healed yet. The awareness is the first step. Awareness brings choice. Awareness allows you to choose better. Until you have the awareness, you don't even know what there is to choose because it feels natural. Lack of awareness makes you think things are natural. I ask you on this day, what are you afraid of? And if it's a question that is making you uncomfortable, maybe talk to a therapist. Talk to someone you trust. Start the process of journaling. Start to research about ways to deal with the traumas that you've had in your life. They are not easy things to deal with. Parents divorcing, friends dying in your late teens. and you're not dealing with it properly. Like, you're not grieving fully and knowing you had to grieve. There were times where I talked about things I went through and I was so passionate about them and I felt so much in the moment. And I would talk to them. I would talk about the things I went through with people who could not actually help me. And the thing about that is, if they can't help you, they just can't help you. It doesn't matter if they love you. Some people that love you will tell you, listen, I am not able to steward that emotion. I am not able to help you with that specifically. I don't have enough knowledge or wisdom, but I do think that that's something that you really need to unpack. And I recommend therapy. I recommend counseling. I recommend finding and seeking somebody with that wisdom. They will do that. Some other people will say, yo, everybody go through stuff, bro. You'll be all right, man. Like, keep your head. They'll just give you those, like, move it on. And after a while, you'll talk about it so much that you'll just believe that's just the way it is. It's not normal. Don't normalize your traumas. Sometimes we normalize these traumas so much. It's like you're walking around with a broken foot and you are okay with it. But for what? And now you're like, you don't even realize, like, this broken foot is stopping you from a lot of opportunities. That's what's going on in your mental. Traumas in our mental, or mental injuries, or really what we could consider mental injuries that aren't healed, limit us from opportunities in the future. You won't go for certain jobs. You will have struggles in relationships. You'll have a bad sex life. You won't be physically active like you could be. Your diet will be poor. All of these different things are side effects of mental injury. And the beautiful part of life for me is that the physical and the mental mirror each other. So you can see physically what it's like to struggle with something. Like, I love this example, but if I'm angry at somebody and I'm angry, I'm holding on to this emotion. Just and this person could have moved on. That is equivalent to holding a hot coal in my hand and just just it's burning my hand. My hand is melting into my flesh. And this person just going about their life. They didn't went on 3 dates. They didn't done so much. We just holding this coal. Oh, they gonna know. They gotta know. Yeah, I know they thinking about me. They not thinking about you. If they are thinking about you, to say, man, that guy should really let that go. I mean, it could be a point where you both hold the feeling, but you still got to worry about yourself. So it's like, what's the point of holding the feeling with somebody? It's a negative feeling. You could just communicate or let it go. Drop the coal. We got to let things go. That was really heavy on me in this moment. Like I said, what are we afraid of? What are you afraid of? I continue to ask that question. What are you afraid of? Right now, there are things that I am afraid of. I'm not gonna lie. There are things that I'm uncertain about. There are things that I haven't done, and I'm grateful for the people that are in my life. I'm grateful for the opportunities that are presenting themselves, and I'm grateful for the tools that I've been equipped here with. I've been given. I've been blessed with to make decisions in a rational way. Like I said, what are you afraid of brings about awareness. Asking that question allows you to be aware, and it allows you to now be able to make a choice as to what you will do about this thing you've now become aware of. Action has to be taken. A change has to be made. All changes are for our betterment. Even if the change brings about some type of detriment, if your intention is positive, eventually you'll correct the thing that was wrong. Sometimes it's silly. I always come back to the gym. Sometimes I went to the gym and I'm doing the workout wrong, and somebody told me like, "Oh, this is sorry." I changed it and I'm doing it right now. But just the fact that I did it wrong publicly. I did it wrong and I was open to correction. Recently, I had a conversation. I wasn't open to correction. I wasn't looking for it, and I acknowledged the reason why. And I spoke to other people about it. So I'm willing to accept where I fell short. But it's just that constant awareness and constant consciousness of who you are and why you are. Something else I've sat with is the Serenity Prayer. And I am blanking on it slightly. I hope I do not quote it wrong. And if I do, I'm not perfect. But I am working toward perfection, even if it can't be reached. So, Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It feels right. But the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, that's the peace. Okay, that's outside of me. I cannot change what Hennessy does to black men. I cannot change what the weed, stay off the weed. I cannot change what the weed is going to do to me. But I have to find the courage to step away from it and control it. And I also have to understand that many men have come before me and few have controlled it in a healthy way, in a long-term way. These are not long-term things. You have to get of age to even be allowed to do these things. And when you are, if you're not doing them with moderation, the effects can be long-lasting and very detrimental. So, as I said, right, the courage. I ask that God gives you the courage to change in the face, grants you the courage to change in the face of the adversities that it brings. It'll have a hold on you. It'll squeeze you tight. It'll squeeze you so tight that you're gonna be arguing with people who are living without it and like trying to tell you like, bro, you good. It's like when you fall in love for the first time or you had a little puppy love. Nah, she's different. Nah, man, like no one ever existed like her, bro. Like you just don't know, man. Like this the one. And then she do what all of the ones do, or he does what all of the ones do. Cause the thing about life is the material changes. Human instincts, human reactions, from Baltimore, human instinct, that don't shift too much. The way we relate, it's pretty consistent. And that's why there's nothing new under the sun. You can bring about flying cars. You can bring robots. The way we relate to each other, it's going to be what it is. So as I said, the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. The courage to change the things I can. And the wisdom to know the difference. Not only is it a good morning, it's a great one. I am a guy from a place. Charm City Bipper. Quis The Vndl. Marquis is the name my mama gave me. I'm wishing you peace, prosperity, and many blessings. As always, remember, one day made better is many days made greater. I'm uplifting you to be in a world that cares. If I keep it to myself, I think that that's unfair. The joy I've been given is best when shared. Visionaries never die, legends survive through the seas we sow daily. We get better with time. Enjoy this day you've been given. Stay conscious of who you are. Be blessed. Peace.
Take me higher. I just wanna feel